Wow! It's 2 minutes to late night!
All right, what's up, Boar's Head Chipotle Mayo? You're listening to Pod Minutes to Cast Night, the 2 Minutes Late Night podcast. It's where we listen to bad albums and try to find good things about them. It almost never, ever works. Before we get into this, we'd like to remind you that 2 Minutes Late Night is sponsored by Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. They make an actual scent based off of our show, and for some reason, it smells amazing. We all wear it. Katie wears it.
I do. I smell like the hottest dude at the show.
You absolutely do. It is. I want you to call an Uber for me.
It spilled in my purse, and I wasn't even mad.
We also have shirts for sale at terriercult.com. Terriercult.com is a website for dog clothing, but for some reason, we're there. Actually, it makes a lot of sense that we're on a dog clothing website. But go to terriercult.com, go to Friends of the Cult, 2 Minutes to Late Night. There's all of our shirts. We have too many shirts. They're all pretty fun, though. All right, you're here with the 2 Minutes to Late Night Writers Room.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Hammond, and I still like Power Man 5000.
The one song?
They have 3 songs.
Right.
That is not true.
Hi, I'm Alaska Lounge Gold member, Katie Rose Leon.
Hello, I'm the Beatles. All 4 Beatles mashed into one person. I've got 8 balls and 4 dicks. The Beatles.
I don't know what accent.
It's the Beatles accent from Beatlemania.
No, you got
the Beatles accent from Walk
Liverpool.
Hard.
Yo, killer tofu. We out.
Just kidding. It's Drew Kaufman.
And I'm Jordan Olds, and I went on a run and still have not showered. Sorry.
Oh, it's
Sorry
cool.
to the room.
I did not wash myself since the bathroom at the Alaska Airline Gold Member Lounge, where I gave myself a homeless bath.
Before we, Lucie's not with us today, but before we get into this week's album, did anybody listen to anything cool this week, or anything that, not even cool, just did you listen to something that you didn't hate this week?
I think you know the answer to that. Power Man 5000. Get up, get up, get up. Drop the bombshell.
What are those lyrics to Power Man 5000?
Yeah, that's like their second biggest hit after When Worlds Collide.
So you're quoting something that isn't When Worlds Collide, and you expect us to know what it is?
Yeah,
Get out of here. You know Drop the Bombshell, don't you?
No,
No.
none of us
No.
do.
None of us.
And
No.
I wore
No one
goggles
does.
in high school, and I don't know that.
It was in the original trailer for Final Fantasy X. In that scene with the Blitzball.
You can't see this, but I put my hand in front of Jeremy's face. You have never gone, get out of here, to the room, and you're using your first get out of here because you don't believe that we know the other Power Man 5000 song?
Jeremy.
From the Final Fantasy X. We don't even, there's a Nintendo.
From the original Final Fantasy X trailer before they re-released
This
it with
is-
the actual score.
An intervention.
Jeremy, I just cleaned out my childhood bedroom, and I found like the leather wristbands that I used to wear to school in 7th grade, and I could not name another Power Man 5000 song if you put a gun to my head.
To be fair,
Jeremy is what happens when all the things you get rid of from your childhood become one thing.
Yeah.
the thing
You could
is,
say that this is what it's like when worlds collide.
that doesn't even work. It
This
doesn't
has
even
been a great
work.
episode,
it doesn't
everybody.
even work. The joke doesn't even work.
That doesn't even work.
Jared,
It didn't
It
make any
does.
sense.
The worlds that have collided are your young life and your current life. Those are 2 worlds, and they have collided in me right now.
Jeremy is a
No, you-
combination of all of my baby teeth and all of my shitty pants right now.
I love shitty new metal, and I never listened to Power Man, and that is surprising to me in a way because, like I said, I went through a phase where I was wearing goggles in high school because I was just like going to Halloween stores and be like, this is everyday clothes now. But yeah, you're on an island, you're on your own. Bon voyage, we'll miss you. Safe travels, friend.
Every man is an archipelago.
When I was in middle school, I just remembered that we changed the words to "This is what happens when worlds collide" to "This is what happens when George Harrison dies." Because that song was popular and George Harrison died around the same time. God, I was a little shit.
That's really
I
The
really love
Beatles. I'm dead. I'm half dead. I'm the Beatles.
I really loved that. Okay, Katie, did you listen to anything that isn't insane?
Yeah, I'm like still so upset by what Jeremy
what the fuck?
said.
Of all of the wrestling music you could be listening to,
On the metal side of things, we talked about this a little bit in our group chat, but I've been really listening to the new Immortal album a lot. It's been making me happy, and I've been wanting to punch holes in walls.
Rules.
yeah,
And
it's really good.
And while I was in Portland, I just got back from Portland to go to a wedding, and I caught this act. I saw this woman perform. She goes by Sassy Black, and she sings really beautiful soul music, but also she kind of does stand-up comedy during it, but she doesn't let you know that's what she's gonna do because then no one would go. But she's so fucking funny and amazing and talented, and everyone should check her out.
Hell yeah. That rules. I'm still mad about Power Man 5000.
Yeah, it's
What
really
the fuck?
upsetting.
I can name a third song.
So wait, you listened to Power Man 5000 and you were like, this is sick, this is good?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Rob Zombie's brother, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the best. That was the best part of Power Man 5000 was because when they came out and they got really big and people would interview Spider 86 or whatever his name was, the singer. Rob Zombie's brother, and he'd be like, I didn't want people to know that Rob Zombie's my brother because I wanted us to make it on our own merit. And you're like, so you chose to just do Rob Zombie but sci-fi theme.
Rob Zombie can be sci-fi. He has sci-fi songs.
It was
all the
brave
time.
of him to give up the family name, though. I would have.
Spider
Zombie.
Zombie.
Spider Zombie.
Drew, what did you listen to this week?
I can say there's something I listened to, or I could tell a story that will make
Yes.
Jeremy mad. I listened.
Make him angry.
So I
Hurt his
remembered-
feelings.
I remembered something, and actually, it might make everybody in the room really mad. So, I was talking with my mom, and I forgot somehow that I was at Woodstock '99.
Wow.
Wow.
What?
How?
Okay,
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
You were at Woodstock 99? That's amazing.
So wait, it gets. It's not that cool. Basically,
You were 11.
yeah, I was 11 years old, and I was going with my dad to work, and my dad worked in the music industry, and he worked with some of the promoters of Woodstock because they were some of the original people that worked on the original Woodstock. Jeremy, your face right now is amazing. And so my dad, the day of Woodstock 99, like the day it started at like 12 in the afternoon, I grew up like kind of near there. My dad was like, oh, we're going to go for a drive. You want to come see Woodstock? And I was like, yeah, totally. So we drive up to Woodstock, and it is Woodstock, and you can see like all the stages, and you can see all the people, and like it hadn't even started yet. Like they had just started pulling out the like the food booths and everything.
Yeah, nobody had
And-
died of dehydration yet.
Yeah, nobody died yet that I know of. But so my dad and we pull up to like this checkpoint, and my dad gives his name, and then they literally go, "What about him? He's not on the list." And then my dad, knowing that I'm an 11-year-old boy, glances at the list really, really quick and just goes, That's my stepson, Evan Shapiro, because there's a name, Evan Shapiro, on there. And the security guard goes, Evan Shapiro, MD? The boy's a doctor? And my dad was like, being as suave as he is, was like, no, obviously he's not a fucking doctor. I know the guy who's running the show, and he put that on as a joke because it's my son. And they were like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And they let us drive through. And we get our passes.
so sick.
And sure enough, I get my Evan Shapiro MD pass, and some fucking doctor couldn't get into Woodstock 99.
Yeah,
People died.
People died because of me and my dad. But then the best part about all of this was I'm 11 years old. I didn't know anything that was happening. I didn't know like this was going to be Limp Bizkit or Green Day or anybody. All I know is that I'm with my dad going to work, and so my dad is like, stay in the car. I stay in the car for about 15 minutes. My dad comes back out, and we leave. and that was my Woodstock 99
Wait,
experience.
what?
I didn't see any band. I didn't see anything. I was at Woodstock 99 at about 12 in the afternoon on the first day with a stolen medical pass.
That is the fucking funniest
That's
thing.
great.
Completely forgot it.
That's a great story. I'm not mad at all.
Yeah. Well, that means a lot, Jeremy, considering that you're such a huge fan of Power Man 5000.
Yeah.
I know you have
Considering I'm such a
refined
huge
taste.
fan of being mad.
Yeah.
I remember watching Woodstock 99 on the TV and, like, in my naive pre 9/11 heart being like, this is war.
I didn't even see that part. When I was a kid, I watched the Korn set of Woodstock 99, and I was like, they did a good job. And then I stopped watching. I didn't even... I completely missed the fucking chaos.
We bought it on pay-per-view. We had the whole package. We were watching the whole fucking thing. And my favorite thing about it was that the whole premise of Woodstock 99 was just like, if you turn a 6 over, it's a 9.
69, dude.
Because the original was 69, and then on the graphics coming in from commercial breaks, they would be like, Woodstock 69, and then it would be like a little, like the 6 would wiggle and then turn over to a 9, and they'd be like, yeah. Yeah. That's the whole premise.
Throw some mud. What was it? Throw some mud and shit that they screamed?
What?
Where people were all throwing mud at each other. And
Oh, that was 94 was the year that Green Day started that huge mud fight, and then their bassist got his fucking jaw broken by a bouncer.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you know that? He got his fucking jaw broken by a bouncer because he was just covered in mud and looked like everyone else, and so he was just like, okay, that's also a guy I need to hurt now.
I would probably want to hurt the Green Day bassist even without the mud.
Speaking of the 60s, let's talk about this album.
Okay.
The Beatles.
Let's get into it. I guess this week I listened to... I bought Brenton Wood on vinyl, and he's very good. He's a very good soul singer, so everybody check that out.
That sounds like a Bob Ross color. Like,
Right.
a little happy Brenton Wood.
Yeah.
And a little...
I feel relaxed.
Honestly,
White.
it's going to make you feel as relaxed as a Bob Ross episode.
Hell
He's
yeah.
amazing. Did you listen to any music this week? Do you want to just...
Oh, I listened to the Hearst Collective. Someone sent that to me, and it's so up my alley. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like queer power violence. The song that was sent to me was called "Killed by a Woman," and it's fucking heavier than any Nails album ever, and it's so cool.
It was
and
our
they
Chef
did,
Kiss this
It was
week.
our Chef Kiss this week. They did a split, or a little 5-song EP or something. Shauna Potter from Warren Women is on it, and it's fucking awesome. If you like really heavy, aggressive music, it's a really good thing to listen to on your morning commute.
Fantastic.
Also, Rubber Soul by the Beatles.
Boo. Boo. Boo.
Boo! Boo! Lock her up! Lock her up!
You can't say that. Our fans will agree with you.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy, stop
Anyway.
laughing. It's so forced.
Is that a comment? Did someone say that?
I've weirdly, that is the fight I've decided to pick as the person who
Right?
accused
I
us
know,
of fake
I was very
laughter.
mad too.
Okay,
What?
sorry.
Are you accused of fake laughter?
We all
We're
are
all accused of fake laughter.
Oh, God. They should hang out with us.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so your life is devoid of joy, and then in my mind, I'm like, you smoke so much weed, Katie, stop.
The point is, we laugh at everything one another say because we're friends, and that's
And
what
we
friends
like
do.
each other!
When we laugh like this, because it's a real laughs because our parents raised us wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are several comedy shows that are on Netflix that you can watch, and you can hear me shrieking in the background like a psycho.
Or our own show. Because the comments now are just like, I love hearing Jordan and Katie and Drew laugh.
Our distinct ass laugh.
All right, moving
Yeah.
on.
It's just different types of screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. Okay. This week we listened to an album by one of my favorite bands ever. Like, I think maybe if Van Halen is the president, they are like
Speaker of the House, at least.
They are at least the vice president, if not just the prime minister of another country that is best friends with President Van
The
Halen.
Prime Minister of a united Ireland.
Yeah.
want this movie so badly.
But
This is the coolest UN club I ever been, and it's
Right?
definitely at Rock and Roll High School. Oh no, they blew it up, the Ramones.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, it's Thin Lizzy's self-titled album. Apparently, this is on a bunch of like worst album lists.
Yeah, so this isn't one that any of our listeners
never
have
heard it.
recommended to us. Like, there's a lot of ones that people have recommended that we're trying to work our way through now. But this is one that I found in, like, the early stages of developing this podcast, just looking through random bullshit internet listicles of, like, what are the worst albums by good bands? And, like, this is one of the ones that came up so many times.
Which is crazy.
I think it's crazy. Well, also, that is... Just to clarify, the premise of this podcast is not bad album by good band. It's just bad albums in general.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's like it's an easy Googleable thing to
Totally.
find bad albums by good bands. It's much easier than just finding listicle of this bad albums.
Yeah, like you can't get anything with that Google search.
Yeah, because like, what's it gonna be? Just a bunch
It's
of
just
like
bad by
shithole-
Michael Jackson. Bad album.
That's a better riff.
You guys remember when he turns into a car?
Yes. We got to start doing movies on this podcast.
Yeah,
There's some crazy ass music movies.
I have a lot of opinions.
But yeah,
Odd movies to cast night.
get the fuck out of
We're
here.
just gonna spin this.
How
name
did this
even
get
further.
pod?
Yeah, we're just gonna be how did this get made?
Alien.
Hey, I'm
ant
Paul
farm.
Scheer. I'm
2 minutes to Manzukis.
Yeah, it's how did this get made? But we're all Paul Scheer.
with like we're all Paul Scheer with better teeth and worse personalities.
Yeah.
Cut that out. I
And
don't wanna be mean to
Katie
Paul.
is Adam Scott.
That's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway,
Okay, so we talked. We
Yeah.
listened to Thin Lizzy by Thin Lizzy.
and
It's fine.
It's fine.
honestly,
Fine. It's boring. It's fine.
It's
yeah, that's I think there's like sorry, go ahead, Katie.
I was going to say, it's clearly a band in the very early 70s trying to find their sound. So it just sounds like a bunch of other bands. It doesn't sound like Thin Lizzy yet, but like as terms of just like a like kind of, Bowie yes-ass sounding album from the 70s, it's fine.
You know what I
Yeah.
found while looking through this is that Jailbreak, which is like probably in my top 10 albums of all time, got really bad reviews when it came out. People really didn't like it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so funny to
How
think
weird
about,
is
like,
that?
some Rolling Stone writer just being like, enough about the boys. 4 out of 10.
You know who gave it a bad review is Robert Christgau, who's
Are you
still
serious?
alive and still fucking dumb.
That guy's an
He
idiot.
sucks.
What a fucking Jailbreak. Jailbreak is so iconic right
Yeah.
now that it, like it's beyond like I don't. It's weird because Thin Lizzy also just wasn't. They weren't a huge band.
No.
They're
in their time, they were
very
just grown
underrated.
into a huge band.
Because they have so many
Amazing
amazing songs,
Yeah.
so many hits.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes sometimes with more classic bands. Like I think what puts them in that status is longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, just a side note, as I have spat out a lot on the show, I'm not a huge fan of musical elitism. I think it's annoying and boring, and I think this is like a great example is that at the time, the gatekeepers of the community were like, no to Thin Lizzy, and look at them now, eggs on your face, bitch.
Look at them now, half dead.
Yeah, most of them are dead.
The Beatles.
Yeah, look at him now. Phil got to see none of the success.
Wait, so who do you think is going to be, like, so thinking about, like, Thin Lizzy was probably, like, more of a cult classic back in the day, right? Because they didn't get great reviews, but they've stood the test of time. Who do you think from, like, modern bands that we listen to now will be, like, the future's Thin Lizzy?
It's hard to say because...
Velotalk.
Say it again?
Velotalk.
Gesundheit.
Do you don't know? How do you not know this band?
No, I don't know.
They're a black metal band that is half black metal, half like dad rock, and
Uh-huh.
it fucking rips. And no one, they're big, but they're not as big as they kind of should be. I feel like they're going to go through a little cycle where they're just now getting like a new singer. So that's going to like make them kind of, I just predict that the audience is just not going to take to that super well. So they're going to disappear for a little while. And then that shit is going to come back.
They're also huge outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
Like, Thin Lizzy, I was reading about it. It's basically like after they put out Jailbreak, they did a huge tour of the U.S. and they were so well received, and they did so well that they did the Live and Dangerous album, and that was kind of like their peak. And then people started leaving the band, and then Phil kind of started doing side stuff. But like right now, Kvelertak, in the country that they're biggest in, I don't know what Scandinavian country it is, but they're basically like
they're in Norway.
They're like the Norwegian Red Hot Chili Peppers in the sense that like
they are.
You can't avoid them. Everybody kind of likes them. You know, like most normal people like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Most people in Scandinavia like Kvelertak. It's really cool. They played on a roof.
They are my favorite band right now. They are the 100% they are everything I like about music in one thing.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you guys just start sending me music? Because I'm starting to realize that I fall into the Jeremy trap where I'm like, I could find new music, or I could listen to something I thought was pretty sick when I was 14.
I am shocked that neither of you has heard this band. Yeah. I thought everybody, the old singer used to come out with a taxidermied owl on his head.
Yeah, we're married now.
So I left the band. But yeah, now they hired like they have like a new they replaced because the singer quit and he was just a black metal vocalist. So it's literally a black metal vocalist screaming over like Led Zeppelin. And it's fucking awesome.
They should be where Ghost is right now.
Yes,
they really should be.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just that they don't have clean vocals, but they now
and they don't
have
sing
a
in
singer.
English. They refuse to sing in English.
They refuse to sing in English, and it fucking rips.
I love that.
Yeah, they
I
were-
love any band that's just like, fuck
They're
you.
on Roadrunner, and they're like, "You're not getting an English album out of us."
Yeah.
And they even have a new singer, and he's probably not going to scream anymore because he's a skate punk guy. Like they replaced him with their like.
They're replacing with
beefy
Mike
Viking.
Vallely.
Pretty much. It's literally, they replaced him with like a St. Vitus bartender with like a bootleg bartender.
Everybody listening in Indiana
Deep
got
New
that,
York
right?
reference. Deep New York reference.
It's like if you replaced a Chick-fil-A with a Steak and Shake.
Yeah, that's more universal.
I love Steak and Shake.
Sorry, me and Drew were having a fast food bonding moment.
It's okay.
Steak and Shake. I don't think I've ever had Steak and Shake.
There is one in
fine.
New York.
Yeah, it's good.
Where is it?
So it's at
Also, what is Steak and Shake?
Steak and Shake is like a Midwestern fast food place, but their whole thing is like they cook all the food fresh, and it's very like it's like the Midwestern version of In-N-Out.
It's
But
like Wendy's, but it's called Steak and Shake.
Yes.
So they don't have steak. It's not like a sizzler type.
It's a
of
steak
thing.
burger, like it's a good beef burger. Like
Yeah.
it's very wholesome. And so in when David Letterman's contract was getting renewed in like 2009 or 10, he was like, I'm only going to do it if you guys put a Steak and Shake in New York. And they worked it out, and there's one Steak and Shake in New York, and it's in the theater, the Ed Sullivan Theater. So you can eat it while you're waiting to go see. Now it's Stephen Colbert, but it stuck around. It's been there for like almost 9 years, and it's the only one in New York. Long before they had Chick-fil-A's in New York, it was just one random Steak and Shake, and it's awesome.
I love Drew's tour of 30 Rock. It's really fabulous.
Oh, I could show you that time where I got drunk and peed in the middle of the street when they were lighting the Christmas tree.
Oh my God, I got on acid and stood in front of the Christmas tree and cried to Purple Rain, and someone had to walk me away.
I'm surprised that we weren't friends earlier, Katie. I feel like you and I are lost souls.
Do you guys have a favorite fast food restaurant?
Taco Bell forever.
Yeah, emotionally speaking, I'm a Taco Bell person. It's not the superior product, but you know, you can always go home again when there's a Taco Bell.
Totally.
I'm from New York my whole life, so whenever I try something new, it's really special to me. So it's probably In-N-Out or Good Times in Colorado. Those little Bambino hamburgers are amazing.
Good Times is the right answer.
Yeah.
What?
Good Times is a West Coast or I think it might just be the
it's
Midwest.
just Colorado.
Yeah.
Or it's definitely started in Colorado. I think it might be in other states now. But Good Times is just the Colorado fast food restaurant, and it's just they've got very unique French fries, and just their burgers are just delicious. They're like
like sliders, but imagine like if you went to White Castle or Crystal's, if you're listening from somewhere not New York, and they make it out of like normal. Why are you looking at me like
I'm
that?
all kinds of confused. Do they not have White Castle elsewhere?
Yeah, White Castle's
Am I the only person here who's traveled America eating the vast splendors of shitty beef?
Yeah,
Yes.
White,
Here's the
White
thing:
Castle.
they do not have White Castle on the West Coast.
Yeah,
don't.
It's only
Only on the East Coast.
What?
And
Yeah,
they
you
have
didn't-
Crystals,
you
and it's
didn't-
exactly
I've had
the
White
same.
Castle one time, and because I had it in my late 20s, I had diarrhea, and I can't
Yeah,
ever
you
eat it
didn't-
again.
you
I've
didn't-
never stopped having diarrhea from the first
Yeah.
time I had White Castle.
That means you had so they have White Castle exists as a different company outside the East Coast. It's called Crystals, and it's exactly the same. Tastes exactly the same, except for instead of using ketchup as a default, they use mustard.
That's crazy.
Hello,
Good call.
my name
That's
is
the
Drew
right way to do
Kaufman.
it.
I'm fat years old, and I've traveled across the country fat times.
Anyway, this is a album that I actually might throw on if I was traveling across the country.
I didn't hate it. I have a soft spot, I will say, for like overly sentimental, cheesy, like 70s music. Like
Yeah.
I just like that shit. I love Bowie and the Zombies and fucking even some Yes. Like, I don't care.
So wait,
Oh, sorry.
so you might throw this on a road trip, but just to throw a wrench in it a little bit, would you put this on over literally any other Thin Lizzy?
No, probably not. But I did have a weird realization that this is a version of a lot of bands that I can't really get into. Like, I don't really like a lot of jammy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not into I don't like Pink Floyd that much.
I hate Pink Floyd. I
Yeah.
only like one song.
Like, there is just versions of this of I've heard the other this sounds like a lot of other stuff.
Yes.
From
Each
like
song I was going through, I'm like, this reminds me of this. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is their Hendrix track, and this is their...
this is their Cream track. Like,
Yeah.
it
There's
was
a lot
so
of, like,
clearly just like
Yeah, it's a bunch of 19-year-olds in like 1971 being like, let's play the music that we've always played because we just started playing music 4 years ago in
Yeah.
1968.
and
When
they
did,
fucking all rip.
yeah,
When did Zeppelin start?
I don't remember.
66 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing
has
I kept
Zeppelin
coming
to
back to was like, it's like Zeppelin if instead of singing
Spacey.
about hobbits, they sang about like park rangers.
Yeah. this is Thin Lizzy before all the cocaine.
Yes.
Because I've realized that
Well, and it's-
sorry.
No, it's before What's-His-Face came on and like changed the American guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's not part of the band yet.
Right, you're correct. We gotta probably look up that guy's name.
Here
We
I go.
don't have to.
Yes, we do.
Don't worry, the internet will tell us, even if we don't ask it to.
But either way, I like this is before like the cocaine took them over, and it's just weed music. And in my history of what I like about music, I like music that's written with cocaine.
Oh
even
my
though
God.
I do not like music that is written with weed for the most part. Like, I like some sleep. It is very hard to get me to like.
Jordan, my stars just aligned all over you. I just understand you so much better now. This
Right?
makes
Yes.
so much sense.
I also never thought about it that way. That
Yeah.
like
When it comes to the rock and roll, I agree, but I disagree in a larger musical sense.
Yes,
but I will say that the song "Cocaine" is a weed song. It doesn't
is
sound
a
like
weed
a
song.
cocaine song.
that's weird.
You ever
yeah.
noticed that?
That's exactly yeah.
That's weed.
And
Smoking
Sweet Leaf is
weed.
kind of a cocaine song.
Yes, Master of Reality. The album is a weed album that I like,
Yes.
But Sweet Leaf itself is kind of a coke song.
It's definitely a coke song. It's got a riff.
yeah.
You write riffs on coke.
Yeah, it's
Shots
not a rap.
fired at weed people.
No, you're right.
Weed people don't write.
No.
riffs.
You
write
they
riffs
play
on-
a chord and they
Listen.
fucking figure it out.
You
What's the most famous weed band? Fish. There you have it, ladies and gents.
You write. I figured it out. You write riffs on cocaine and you write choruses on weed because you don't want to be alone.
No, you write choruses on alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because you're
Alcohol makes choruses.
Yes.
That's true.
I think you write all
Alcohol.
music on alcohol, including every Minor Threat song.
I was gonna say alcohol makes gang vocals is what
Yeah.
happens because you're like, I love my friends,
Yes.
everybody.
No,
Everybody, get in this chorus.
And then we're going to Taco Bell.
No, weed
You know
is
the
for
weirdest-
bridges.
Yeah.
Weed is a bridge drug.
Yes. Yeah. When you're just figuring it out. That
And a
actually
bridge-
makes a lot of sense.
And a bridge is a gateway to a town, if it makes
Yeah.
sense. A gateway drug, gateway bridge.
You know what I'm realizing is I can't figure out what drug Prince is. Prince is its own thing.
Prince
It's
is
on
Prince.
sex.
Yeah. First
Prince
of
gets
all,
high on fucking.
once
Yeah.
again, Prince,
painkillers.
outside of the range of music we're talking about. I'm talking about just like straight rock and roll music. I'm not talking
Rock and
about any.
roll,
I'm
yeah.
taking any funk influence out.
Yes, okay.
That's like it's just a whole different game change.
Yes,
because
you're right.
if we are introducing that stuff, then I tend to disagree because I
Yes.
like a lot of hip hop that was clearly made under the influence of depressants.
Maggot Brain
Yes.
is not a cocaine album.
No, it's a weed album. It's one of my favorite albums
It's
of
the
all
best
time.
album. But yeah, okay, yeah. So this is clearly Thin Lizzy doing weed music, and I like it. I like their version of what this is. Like,
I think it's
To be-
adorable.
I think it's really cute, and I think there's something really. I don't know why I like. I don't know why I like it more than just like the Eric Clapton shit I never got into.
Ooh, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you kind of like this album, even though it's their first album and they're just babies and they're figuring it out. But you don't like the first Pantera album
Yeah.
for that same reason.
Yeah, well, that's
Well-
the thing is I can clearly hear how talented they all are, and nothing actually sounds bad. There's nothing
Wait.
on this album that sounds bad.
I have a metaphor.
Yeah.
I have a metaphor. It's Muppet Babies versus a pup named Scooby Doo.
What is with you today? That makes no sense. What?
John McCain is still dead. I can still riff.
No, that doesn't make any
No, it
sense.
doesn't
Because
make
also
any
the
sense.
Muppet Babies are from Muppets Take Manhattan, which is a movie.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, Muppets Take Manhattan has the first appearance of the Muppets babies as actual puppets.
That's
and that
what I'm
was what the
saying. I'm
TV
just
show
saying
was
that
based
the
on.
Also,
Muppet
Scrappy Doo
Babies.
died in 9/11.
It's
Show a little
like-
respect on that name.
It's two different baby mediums, right? It's you're looking at two different pieces of baby media.
Okay.
Where one is
Baby media.
I don't
with
trust the
merits
baby
and
media.
fun and
true
cool,
baby.
and one is very clearly just lame. You know, a
Yeah.
pup named Scooby Doo sucks ass.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Well, yes.
What do you want, Tom and Jerry kids?
Shots
Did you
fired.
not like Tom and Jerry kids?
Oh god, I love Tom and
That
Jerry
also
Kids.
sucks.
They had all those shows had a great theme song.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know.
90s
Street
had the best
Sharks
theme
was
song.
also a 90s show.
Oh, they should have done Street Sharks Kids.
I actually do want that. But either way,
Watch out, because this train is off the rails.
Duck-
yes,
Tails.
it is.
Woo!
All right. No, yeah, but you were right. Because that was going to be my big point is like, this is the difference between like a band starting out like where they just haven't just written their songs yet, but you
Yeah.
can still hear all of the pieces.
I would actually agree because like I was a defender of that Pantera album. I thought it was very adorable and I somewhat enjoyed it. But compared to this clearly shows people that know how to play their instruments. They
Yeah.
just don't know how to write songs that have their own sound to it yet. But
Yeah.
the artistry is a lot more advanced than that Pantera album, which is still crazy to think about.
It's so
that's a
crazy to think
Pantera
about.
album.
But also, yeah, but by Drew's math, I shouldn't like this. I should not like this.
Yeah.
Because it's noodling, it's weed music, it's just, there are no chords. It's just, I just like the way Phil's voice sounds.
He's got a great voice.
His voice is so fucking soothing.
Yeah.
It's you know what it is? It feels, this album is why I like for all the reasons I enjoy listening to this are kind of also the reasons that I like listening to like Roxy music. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love Roxy music.
Roxy music versus like the Talking
totally.
Heads.
Yeah.
It's just like spacey. There's no fucking chorus.
Ooh,
Like,
can we
it's-
shit on the Talking Heads? Because I really like the band, and I don't like David Byrne. I don't like him.
Disagree.
I don't
think he's very talented. I think he might be very pretentious, like as a human, but I think he has made good music. He has appropriated a lot of stuff, which is a real white dude move. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's unfair to shit on him.
Sorry, Katie.
I do think that I've never really listened to the Talking Heads. I have like a thing where like if a band has a sound that is so clearly someone else's sound, I get turned off immediately. Like Red Hot Chili Peppers versus Faith No More. Like I never really listened to the Red Hot Chili Peppers that much because I'm like, you were doing Faith No More.
Yeah, which is so good.
Faith No More is fucking awesome. But they sounded only like that version of Faith No More on like the real thing, and then the Red Hot Chili Peppers were like, we're gonna do this also, and then Faith No More moved on from it. Roxy Music was also kind of that to the Talking Heads. I feel like the Talking Heads clearly are taking so much from Brian Ferry.
Yeah, but you can say that a lot about the punk movement before.
That's true.
It was like the 4-chord punks, like the Patti Smiths and stuff like that, were all taking from Brian Ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went to the bathroom. What are we talking about?
I made a comparison to like I was saying, like I like this album because the math doesn't make sense. I shouldn't like this album. It's weed, it's noodly, there's nothing like it's a first album of somebody. This shouldn't be my thing, but it's kind of like I like it for all the reasons why I like a Roxy Music album.
And also, I will say, out of all the atrocities you guys have dropped proudly at my doorstep, this has been the most listenable album, hands down.
100%. This is easily.
It's yeah.
This is the most listenable. I still think 6 Feet Under is my number one because of how funny I think it is and how I would actually replay that for fun.
Yeah.
So I think that's my number one, but this is the most listenable album we've ever listened to on this podcast.
I'm still gonna go to bat for Famous Monsters.
Oh, right.
Famous Monsters ended up being a true delight. This
I
was a bit boring, is the thing.
I think that's just like a
actually
taste.
That's a fair.
It's really a taste thing because I wasn't on that episode, but I would just
neither.
like to sum up that I hated that. I hated Famous Monsters.
What, Famous Monsters?
I hated it. Couldn't stand it.
Cool.
That's
all.
crazy. No.
No, we're not
Yeah.
doing it.
No, we can
don't
do it.
We can do it. Let's do it.
You wanna
Fuck
do it?
you.
All right,
That's
fuck you,
wrong.
man.
You're wrong.
Fuck you, man. Hey.
Hey, did you listen to Famous Monsters?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's pretty good.
I
I listened to that again. I put that on in the car.
Yeah, well, you also bragged about liking Power Man 5000 at the top
you
of the
don't
show.
have a lot of weight here.
They have a song called Nobody's Real. That's the third song.
Okay, I think I figured out why I don't like Famous Monsters and why you like this Thin Lizzy album.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make an explanation that's gonna sink less quickly as Jeremy's Muppet Babies, but it's not gonna go over well in the room. Wes Anderson.
Okay.
When Wes Anderson first came out, you were like, oh, cool. He's just doing a thing. I love the Royal Tenenbaums. It was one of my favorite movies when it first came out. I really liked it. I liked The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou for a little bit. And now looking forward, I don't watch anything by him anymore. I haven't watched anything by him in 10 years because it becomes not necessarily formulaic, but you can predict it and you know what's going to happen. And you know there's going to be the wide shots and the quirky 60s music and the palette. Once you guess the game, oh god, that's a comedy thing. Once you guess the like what's going to happen, it's not as exciting for you anymore. And so, like Famous Monsters was exactly what I thought the Misfits removed from the good part of the Misfits would be.
Yeah.
And this album it's not in that territory of I can't wait to hear them do the Thin Lizzy stuff where they talk about Ireland and dueling guitars and just all the stuff that I really enjoy about Thin Lizzy. But in a weird way, you're kind of watching it and hoping it'll come out. It's kind of like going back and watching like an old Spielberg movie and trying to see like when is he going to find his footing, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a big reason why I end up not liking things is because they become kind of predictable. The same reason why I don't fucking like Power Man 5000, dude.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's a fair... Everything you said, I think, is actually really fair. I think that is... there were some harmonies on this album, and I think that's 1971. I think when I was listening to it and hearing the harmonies, I was like, oh my god, is this the earliest guitar harmony? Maybe.
Yeah, it's
But-
like I'm Werner Herzog in those painted caves. Like,
Yeah.
gaze upon us as the Katamani rises for the first time.
The guitarmony is the tool of the coward.
The guitarmony is the tool of the drunk Irishman. Rock and roll.
Is there anybody here who has a little German in them? Would any of the ladies like a little more?
I love that. But you brought up that you saw like with the Misfits thing with like Famous Monsters, you're like, I know what's gonna happen. It's just with the good stuff removed. I don't know if you listened to the entire Famous Monsters podcast. That's fine if you didn't, because I didn't. I've missed a lot of episodes of stuff that I'm actually on. But
That's fair.
Our thing with it was like we treat it like a chain restaurant. Like it's like when Sam makes us go to like our friend Sam who played the Weatherman.
Or for a better example, you could just bring up Taco Bell because they were talking about Taco Bell.
It's like, well, just like going to like when you know you're going to like when we went to Senior Frogs for my birthday, we knew what we were in for.
It was the fucking best. Senior
we had a
Frogs
great
ruled.
time.
I have heard
But that's
that.
what it
From
is.
Senior Frogs.
I have heard
It's
this
not around
story
anymore.
from every boy there separately. Like each one of you at one point has taken me aside and told me about the epic of Senior Frogs.
Can I tell Senior Frogs?
Yes, but I want to say that like that's how you had to treat Famous Monsters. Is you're like you're
Totally.
going to a shitty restaurant and you find out that restaurant is embracing that they are nonsense.
But I'll
Yes,
counter that.
It's exactly like Taco Bell.
Yes.
It's like when Taco Bell figured out third meal or fourth meal.
But
You know, it's like it's when Taco Bell realized that we're not actually trying to be a Mexican restaurant. We're trying to be for people at 4 a.m.
And
Yeah.
you know that they're those people, though. Everybody knows that one person that is like, I've never had Taco Bell. And you're like, what? Fucking come on. I have Taco Bell. We'll go get it right now. And they're like, no, I need this because it's a part of my identity. And you let it go. But you have to be in the mood for Taco Bell to eat Taco Bell. And I wasn't in the mood for Famous Monsters. And I don't think I ever will be.
That's fine.
And I think
That's fair.
I think that's okay.
I
That's
love
fair.
and accept you.
It's Jekyll. It's because it's Jekyll and Hyde's, and no one wants to go to Jekyll
Okay,
and Hyde.
so if you're not from New York, we have a bunch of things to go over real quick.
We've talked about Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and
so
Hyde's
many.
Yeah.
comes up as
Every
much on this
miss-
podcast
Okay, I
as
do wanna-
9/11 does on Ballin' Out Super.
I have been to Jekyll and Hyde.
We are a
times.
Hurricane Katrina entity. You know this.
The Japanese tsunami. So Senior Frogs, if you might not know this, but there's a chain of like party bars in like Cancun and all the party areas of Mexico in the South called Senior Frogs. They tried to open one up in Times Square in New York, and basically it was like going to a 6-year-old's birthday, but with overpriced drinks. And we went there for Jordan's birthday, and we had one of the best times of our lives. We were running around dancing and singing and doing karaoke. They had a
live band.
a live band that was all women, which was really cool.
No, not all women. The singer was a woman. The bassist, who was playing a neon green wireless bass. Everything on the bass was neon. The frets, the strings, neon.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Was it like one of those like Limp Bizkit basses that has like the light up frets?
Yes, it was. It was
Hell
100%.
And they were just playing like Gloria Estefan and like Paradise City and
But then every now and then they would just play the Aquabats and everyone would do a conga line and pour vodka in their mouth.
they would literally inject liquor into your mouth, and it was gross. It tasted like
Wait.
so you do it was
The Aquabats?
They would play an Aquabats riff and we would run around.
no
like an
they
actual
played
Aquabats
they
song
played
or
the
the-
Aquabats. They played
Pizza party.
no they played Fashion Zombie.
What?
Yeah, they played Fashion Zombie by the Aquabats. And then they had everybody basically get a conga line, and this guy would take like a hamster
Like
water bottle that you'd have in a cage, and he would hold a gross wet rag to your throat, and then spray what I can only assume was sweat, Gatorade, and a little bit of rubbing alcohol into your mouth. And then some guy would come around and be like, who wants a balloon animal? And you'd be like, we're here for a 28th birthday. And they're like, that's not what I said. I said, who wants a balloon animal? And they would do that every 20 minutes.
That's not what I fucking said.
And at some point, we had tied all of our balloon animals together to make a giant helmet that was...
No, we tied them all together to our friend Dan.
Yeah. But he had a helmet of balloon animals, which he wore out, and then came to karaoke at Vitus. And
Yeah,
sung
we
Run
rode
to the,
the
Hills.
train from Times Square to St. Vitus.
That's like going from Chicago to St. Louis.
Yeah. And he fucking was wearing every balloon possible there. We then went home, and he wore them in the car, and he went to bed, and we woke up, and he was still wearing them, and we had to pop him because it wouldn't have stopped.
We should also, one other thing is that we got ice cream for everybody, and it comes out in a small portable ice cream truck, which only has enough ice cream for 2 people. Yeah. So we must have spent about $600 on ice cream, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Thin Lizzy's great, too.
Yeah, here's the thing. That's the real thing. We're tangenting so much because Thin Lizzy fucking rips. There's not a lot to critique.
What's your favorite live album?
Ooh.
Because mine's Live and Dangerous. Thin Lizzy's live album is the best live album of all time.
I was just talking about this with my tiny boyfriend on the way up here. We were just like, just going off about the coolest thing about Thin Lizzy is that their studio recordings are great and all, but it's all about that live shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so much better than anything. And that's like a true test of how talented a band is, that you want to listen to those shitty, fuzzy-ass recordings.
Yeah. I would say it's either Live and Dangerous or Live After Death, Iron Maiden. Live After Death by Iron Maiden is fucking sick. It's my favorite Iron Maiden song is Aces High because it was the first one I ever heard. And it's just ripping guitar harmonies and his voice is out of control. And just hearing that live album, the audience go nuts for the like Winston Churchill fucking like war speech. And then they like go into Aces High. It's one of the sickest things I've ever heard.
Okay, question. Does it have to be an official release?
No.
Okay, so unofficial release, Green Day, Woodstock 94. Official release, Metallica, S&M.
We were talking about Thin Lizzy, but we could do that too.
We're talking about
what was your
best
favorite live album?
Live albums.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
That
'cause
was
Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous is an inarguably sick-ass album. I don't think you've actually heard it, probably.
No, I've never heard
It's
it.
amazing. It's really good. It's really, really awesome. Unofficial, though, is a good point because there is something really special about if you really love a band and you're willing to listen to like a crappy quality, like there is a really famous bootleg of At the Drive-In where they played in Tokyo, and it's like my favorite thing. I used to listen to that every day.
Oh, I know that
And you can't
one.
find it anywhere online because it's completely bootleg and illegal. And like, if I played it for you and you're like a medium fan, you'd fucking throw it out the window. But like, if you're a fan of stuff, you're willing to go through the muck to hear it.
Yeah. My dad was a big bootleg guy. He had a crazy collection of bootlegs of like every band he liked. He had like fucking like something like 30 Allman Brothers bootlegs.
I heard Almond Brothers, and it got me really excited
Their
for coffee.
name is the Almond Brothers.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to call them the Almond Brothers. They're the Almond Brothers.
Greg Almond.
Greg Almond.
And his brother Peanut.
You know what? Actually, here's some fucking stupid ass 2004 hardcore bullshit for you guys. You know what is the coolest live recording taping ever? The fucking Bury Your Dead concert where the dude second song gets a bass peg in his head.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Finishes
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
finishes the concert covered in bleeding out of his actual brain.
Oh, God. If you really want to go into bootleg hardcore stuff, it's Dillinger Escape Plan at the Virgin Megastore when when Greg runs
That's
off
the
stage.
coolest
The coolest thing I've ever seen. Head walks on the entire audience.
40-second video.
It's 40 seconds. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Dillinger Escape Plan rules. Ben Wyman was on our show, and I've never been the same. It rules.
If we're talking about hardcore bootlegs, then there's a great video of, we were talking about them off mic, Ceremony at This Is Hardcore, I think, or maybe Sound and Fury, one of those big hardcore festivals. But there's a great video of them where they're like playing one of those songs on the first album that has like this crazy long bass nonsense intros. And like the singer like comes out and he like spray paints on like an American flag, and then he like comes out and the fucking drums kick in and the whole crowd all rushes to gang the mic at once. There's like 1,000 people all trying to gang the mic at once, and it is so sick.
Yeah, we gotta. All right, before I have seen Ceremony do something, and it was when Davey Havoc
Yes, Straight Edge Revenge.
Yes.
Also a very good video.
All right, before we fucking just turn this into a goddamn YouTube tornado, Katie, do you want to talk about maybe a live video you saw of Devo or something?
I do have several Devo live albums, including on vinyl.
Please talk to them.
They're
Talk
very
about
good.
them to
Devo
me.
has some of the craziest live shows ever because they do all sorts of dance moves and stuff. But I think my favorite live album that is not good in any way, but I have so much love, is the final Adam and His Package concert.
Yes.
Air Debatable is a very good album.
The room just split in half, and all the nerds got their own island. It's great.
Yeah, there's literally a line where he goes, "You're moshing to a CD."
Jordan, you ever listen to Adam and His Package?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
Punk Rock Academy.
Yeah.
I think I've heard the live version of that, and I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the one.
You've
Okay, I've
it.
heard this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the
I was
islands have joined together.
Yeah. I was fighting the mold in the bowl with my pee.
Yes.
I was
Yep.
like, oh, I'm strapped in for whatever this is going to be.
Yes.
It's just it was just like, he just sounds like a cartoon spider.
Yep.
In
Yep.
that song. It's
Great Mountain Goats cover, too. He does the Going to Georgia.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were going to say that Mountain Goats covered Adam and His Package. That would
No,
be
but did you hear
insane.
that the Mountain Goats played best ever death metal band out of Denton, and the guitarist from an old school death metal band came on stage and shredded in the middle of it. I can't remember the band. He
Yes.
tweeted it. We'll have to look at it. Someone will correct
That
me
is
online.
so
We gotta stop talking
extremely
about
my
the Mountain
shit,
Goats.
though.
Yeah,
on
it's
this podcast.
wait, real quick though, I do want to talk about something.
You hate him?
Yes.
I love Jeremy and I just like
I love
locked
him
eyes.
so goddamn much.
What a shocker.
Jeremy.
Just Long Island hardcore boys like the Mountain Goats? That's never happened.
Jeremy, let's touch feet.
Those black
You can't see it at home, but we did it.
Oh wait, I want to say something real quick. I want to
Katie
give.
and I have seen UHF with Weird Al. We're going to put our...
Yes.
I've also done that. UHS is one of my faves.
Fran Dresser is my hero and possibly my actual mother. Please,
Yes.
please get in
Fran
contact.
Drescher is all of our actual mothers.
Oh, seriously.
Shout out to... What's your favorite Fran Drescher album?
Mine is
13 songs.
mine is Miss
Fran Ghazi, make it happen.
What is the show?
Okay, wait.
Oh my God. That's my favorite.
Can I get us back on track?
Before you do, I just wanted to shout out Hate 56, but we don't have to do that. I think they're awesome.
Okay, let me get us back on track a little bit here. Since we all seem to have generally positive opinions about this album, for the ending, does anybody have something negative to say about this album?
Gets a little sparse sometimes. There's like a couple tracks where I'm like, I wish it was a little fuller, especially since on certain tracks they do show that they are able to do that.
Yeah?
Third song. The third song was my least favorite. That's the like Jimi Hendrixy one.
Yeah.
You know what it is because I think it's just because they are coming out of that time period where everybody was like, we got to do what Hendrix did. You know, I watched this video on YouTube about the Van Halen effect and how after Van Halen came out, Jordan looked immediately up at the photo of Van Halen over my head. Bless you, daddies.
Folks at home may not
That's
remember.
my
there
mezuzah.
is- there is a mezuzah on the wall that is a picture of Van Halen.
But the Van Halen effect was that after Van Halen came out, like after the first album, like everything had shredding in it. Like if you look at like a band like Rat, there was no need for them to fucking shred their balls off, but they did it because that's what Van Halen did. And all of the like early 80s is really heavy shredding to the point that most of these bands are so technically proficient, but who cares? It doesn't. They're not fun songs, and that's what that reminded me of. Is like when everybody was trying to be Hendrix. Like, oh wow, that dude can fucking not shred the same way as Van Halen, but like just an over the top guitar jerk off festival. That's what the third song is to me. And they got much better when they figured out that they could just do the dueling thing, which is so much cooler and so much more interesting, even if it's less intricate.
Well, it's not even this less intricate. It's just they put structure into their music and they figured out what worked kind of for them. Like nobody sounds like Thin Lizzy. Like Iron Maiden does not sound like Thin Lizzy. Those are two very different things. And even though even songs on like Jailbreak, they're not similar structurally. Like Jailbreak doesn't sound like Boys Are Back in Town. Boys Are Back in Town does not sound like Cowboy Song.
Yeah.
They're all so drastically different, but you still know it's a Thin Lizzy song, and there's something very special about that.
Yeah.
They're a very unique band in a way that they don't have a pattern, and I think that's what makes them very cool. Like Van Halen has a very key identifier. When you listen to Thin Lizzy, there isn't the Jailbreak riff, but you don't. But Jailbreak doesn't apply to all the other stuff.
Yeah, I literally just had this conversation the other day that I did not realize that both Jailbreak and Boys Are Back in Town are both Thin Lizzy.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize it
my God.
until very recently that and it was very funny to me because they are both very distinctly about the boys, and I didn't realize it. And then today on the way over here, I was just going through the Spotify top, Thin Lizzy songs, and Whiskey in the Jar is on there, and I was like, I did not realize that was a Thin Lizzy song.
What? It's the most Irish ass song on the planet.
Oh yeah, no, I thought.
It's just that's an Irish drinking song. They did not write it.
Oh really?
No,
Thin
yeah,
Lizzy did
it's a
not.
cover of a classic Irish drink.
Okay.
It's like how Jimi Hendrix did a cover of the Star Spangled Banner, but he wasn't there in 1776.
A word?
I know. I was surprised to find that out too.
Wow, I'm learning so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dads out there, I did not know that Jimi Hendrix was not alive then, so thank you.
Yeah.
It's not alive now either. I suck.
No, I like that. I really like that. But
He's tickling me.
But isn't that interesting that
they're a very diverse. Their sound is insanely diverse, and it's very impressive. They're a very impressive.
You
band.
need to listen to Live and Dangerous because there's
I really do. Yeah.
they don't even end with the boys are back in town. It's this big thing, and then they still have 6 more songs.
What?
And
what do they close on?
They I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe
I don't remember.
Shalala?
Yeah. But that's the thing. The Boys Are Back in Town was not it's like what was it? It's very similar to another band we did on this podcast where it's that song didn't get the traction that you think it would.
Yeah.
Have back then it wasn't huge. I remember the first time I heard The Boys Are Back in Town, I was in England and I was 8 years old. And my parents had taken me on a trip. My dad had to do something in London, so we went, and we had all these plans and they all got fucking canceled because it just rained the whole time. And I was watching just the Disney Channel, and the Disney Channel was just the British Disney Channel was so excited that it was getting Toy Story the movie. And they didn't even change the song. It wasn't The Toys Are Back in Town. They just played The Boys Are Back in Town for Toy Story. It just was every commercial had just Woody and Buzz flying around. I don't even think it was in the movie Toy Story, but it played The Boys Are Back in Town.
Definitely was not.
Yeah, no, it definitely.
They listened to that Randy Newman shit and they're like, "Fuck this, we're putting Thin Lizzy over."
Thin Lizzy, we're in the UK,
Goddamn,
motherfucker.
You have a friend in me on this fucking commercial. No one's gonna watch
The
this.
boys
a song about the boys, right?
Yeah.
The boys and the toys.
Boys.
Here's the thing.
I got diarrhea in my bar mitzvah. The boys.
That's some real shit.
But I hated that song because that's how I first heard it. Hated that.
Yeah,
song.
because you just thought of it as a commercial song.
Yeah, but then
It's like being into the pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening song.
Yeah, I was like,
Great
why?
track. Classic.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Huh.
But that's a thing. Has it ever happened to you guys too? I've done that where you have to relearn to like something. For the longest time,
Yes.
I hated the song "London Calling," and then I actually listened to the album, and I realized that it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And I re-listened to the London Calling, like not on like the radio in between commercials for pickup trucks and like, I don't know, cedar for hamster cages.
Yeah.
And
I was just saying, my parents both had pretty good taste in music for what their taste in music was, and so I had to relearn to like a lot of music that I associated with them. Like my dad really likes a lot of funk music and introduced me to that, and I had to fight against it pretty hard. And what? Why are you pointing at me?
I was gonna say Power Man 5000.
No, this is actually relevant. I have a very strong memory of your dad telling me that Randy Newman isn't just You've Got a Friend in Me.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah, I
funny.
remember your dad saying something about Randy Newman and me being like the fucking Toy Story song. And he's like, there's a lot more.
Really?
There's also short people.
Are you sure that's my dad? Because my dad definitely was not Randy Newman. He was like playing King Crimson and shit.
Yeah.
He definitely is also a Randy Newman fan.
Well, you know what? You remember something about my dad that I did. I blocked out.
My two very strong memories of your dad are that and also him scolding me for saying I liked Family Guy.
He gave you good
Well
lessons.
done. Well done.
Katie,
Mr.
does your dad
Rose
love
Leon?
LA?
I don't know.
Mr. Rose Leon. Can I just say my negative thing for this
of
album
course.
is the opening track that's like a weird spoken word poem from the perspective of Yogi Bear. It's kind of really weird.
I really liked it.
You liked it?
I liked it.
I was like, this is some Funkadelic shit. This is like Funkadelic, Brian Ferry nonsense. Let him live his truth.
It's 1971. If you want to get laid, you're in a band, and if you want to get laid, you write poems. And if you really want to get laid, you read your poems in bands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if
I don't
you're-
know.
And if you really want to get laid in Ireland, you talk about the national park system.
And it fucking worked because the next album is where he writes the song about his daughter. So somewhere between this album and the next album, he got a woman knocked up.
Yeah.
Even though Lucie is not here today, we still are going to do a metal mansplain. So now we're going to take it to Lucie, who is not in the room.
Hey, metal fans, I'm Lucie Steiner, and I have a question. What are you afraid of?
All right, Metal Mansplain. Here we go. Responses from last week. Question was, what is the Burning Red? The band Ash Williams says, isn't the Burning Red that cinnamon gum that's always next to the juicy fruit?
Well done.
Pretty sure it's that.
Yeah, I like
Well
that.
done. Ash Williams, well done. Lovely people.
Dave Longan says, the Burning Red is an Irishman on holiday in Spain.
Ooh, good job, guys.
Tadas Bravas.
Spicy takes.
Yeah.
Sean Tragedy, who's also a fan of Ballin' Out Super, good guy,
Super.
says the Burning Red is the time in a young man's life when you have an afternoon to yourself and a great internet connection. Or you're 32 and it's Wednesday. And there's nothing good on Netflix.
See, Jordan, you were upset at first when Jeremy said he was a fan of Ballin' Out Super, but now that answer can only come from an anime fan.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's all the responses we
Thank you, guys.
Do you think I don't like Ballin' Out Super? I love Ballin' Out Super.
No, I know that. I just, Jeremy is kind of a hype hound and he doesn't know when to stop.
Everybody listen to Ballin' Out Super. It's a great podcast. We talk about anime from a leftist perspective.
You talk about one anime.
Can we do a special called Ballin' Out Soup Tour where we go get soup?
I would
Yes.
like to do that, yes.
Ball-
Let's do it.
Ballin' Out for soup.
Let's get ramen. I know you like ramen because you have an anime podcast.
I definitely don't have.
Oh, I've been owned. Oh,
You got owned
no.
by a guy with a ramen tattoo. I'm just as bad as he is.
I have a spreadsheet of ramen places.
I still have diarrhea from the first time I had ramen.
God damn it.
We all
been a
have
very-
diarrhea. We're all Jewish. We all have diarrhea. It's the American Jewish experience. IBS.
2 minutes to late night. Diarrhea all the time.
Diarrhea of a madman.
Are we doing best songs? What are we doing here?
Oh, yeah, best songs.
I don't.
The best song is The Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah, that's
It's The Boys Are Back in Town. It's
The Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah.
Should we do plugs and then we'll sing the guitar riff to The Boys Are Back in Town?
Yes.
Yes.
And then
Yep.
We'll show
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely.
You find me on Twitter at Jeremy Thunder. Check out Ballin' Out Super, and that's it.
You can find me on Twitter at Katie Rose or on Instagram at Oh Hello Katie Rose or on any other projects of Jeremy's I squish myself onto. You should also support everyone else's side projects here, be it seeing Lucie perform stand-up or paying Drew to take your photo. Take it away, Drew.
Hello, we're the Beatles. You can find me on thebeatles.com. We're on Twitter and Instagram at the Beatles.
That's the last time I stick my neck out for you.
Also, baby, you can drive my car, or I'll take your photograph. Drew Kaufman Photography on Instagram. I've got a nice camera. Do you want to know a secret?
No.
No, I don't.
I'm the Beatles.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. I'm not good at keeping secrets. Hey, Jordan, take it away.
I liked, I can't, wow, you guys. Most famous band in the world, the Beatles, in my apartment. What a treat. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Jordan Olds. You can follow my dog on Instagram at Great Hambino. You can follow our podcast and television program, or I'm sorry,
Internet.
YouTube pretend television program.
Our quote television end quote program on YouTube. 2 Minutes Late Night. Please also donate to our Patreon. It is how we give you such quality content, such as this episode, where we mostly talked about something else. Listen.
Yeah, please pay us to fake laugh at each other's jokes.
George Soros.
We're all very mad at you, whoever you are, YouTuber.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you.
Is that Lord of the Rings?
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. All right, here we go.
It sounded like Lord of the Rings.
1, 2, 3.
It's the live version.
Super.
Yep.
Super.
The Beatles.
See you on GT.
John Lennon was shot.